Hello everyone, and welcome to another unit comparison. We've moved on from the infantry tab in, of course, Wargame, Red Dragon, and the Commonwealth Coalition, and we're moving on to support. So we have anti-air options here, the Stormer HVM and the M113 Adats, both sort of famous options, I think, from the Commonwealth Coalition. And Quicksilver, do you want to tell us which one of these you prefer, what sort of role it should be in, and why?
So personally, I prefer to still have a HVM just because you can really cover all your flanks by just chucking one of those down. While the Adats, it can be amazing. It's got that 25 AP, 7 HE. It's got really good range against ground, air, and decent enough against planes. I feel the price of it and the strength of it is what really kills it. You also got to notice the speed as well. It's 65 versus your 80 kilometers off-road speed. So you will often find if you run the Adats, it will get mortared and artilleried and bombed to death. And the same thing can be said about the Stormer, but it's got that extra speed. It can run away, and people tend to not target the Stormer nearly as much as the Adats because people will sleep on how deadly it is.
Yeah, that's fair, and also, I guess my observation here is from a cost-effectiveness standpoint. You're saving 35 points for the Stormer versus the ADATs, and they seem functionally similar against helicopters. I mean, the extra 200 meters is nice, that's for sure, but they both have really high accuracy, really high AP power. I guess 7 versus 6, technically the ADATs, I suppose, could one-hit crit on planes, but is that really relevant use?
I really don't think for your planes you will have a dedicated plane AA like the FSA for example, and when it comes to the Stormer, it has less HE but it also has double the missiles, so
So I can already hear people asking in the comments about this. The 25 AP power on the ADATs is just bonkers. Should you be using this ever really against ground targets?
You absolutely can, but it's really hard, especially against Soviet tanks, because they also have 2800. Well, some of them have 2800 meter cannon-fired missiles, and you cannot take a single round of those without only 2 frontal armor.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. That's something I hadn't thought about. I guess. Just things shooting back at you at that range as well. It almost seems like. I mean, the comparison for that role seems to be the Israeli Para, which I believe is also 110 points, and gives you higher range, more missiles, thicker armor, and a stabilizer. Yeah, that's fair.
Sorry.
So okay, so just to recap then, the ADAT's not recommended for ground-to-ground combat, and probably performs similar to the Stormer in ground-to-air.
Yeah, absolutely. But also, it's a bit of a double-edged sword because the ADAT's man, if you get it into the right position, it can kill some super heavies. It can snipe other things. It can be lethal, but the risk versus reward there, it just isn't there for me.
Gotcha. So, I mean, both powerful units, both good options, but it looks like the Stormer does edge out a win here if you're looking for that powerful, impactful, and somewhat cheaper option for the UK and the Commonwealth. And do you take that up-vetted or down-vetted usually?
Up-vetted. Always up-vetted.
So that sounded like something we've heard a little bit before in other comparison videos in the support tab, and I just want to ask you, why is it that so many expert players, their answer for things in the anti-air business is always up-vet, almost like it's a rule?
Because say you've got a group of units, and you see a helicopter and a plane coming towards you. You want every possibility to crit and stun that plane to stop it from firing, stop the helicopter from shooting. Planes, as much as we say don't take them, they can very much change the course of a game in a single pass, especially on the openers. So if you want a maximum chance to deny that as possible, and the higher your unit up-vetted, the higher chance of critting, the higher chance of accuracy, less chance to be stunned, less stun effect. It's just, yeah.
Alright, well that was pretty comprehensive. I think that's going to be our unit comparison for today. We'll have another one for you guys tomorrow.